All right, Jund Walker. So we've got a few different things here. Similar to, I don't want to say it's similar to Green-Black mid-range because that deck has an Explore package, right? So we've got a bunch of cheap interaction here in Cast Down and Moment of Craving. We've got Llanowar Elves to help accelerate us into our top end. We've got Sarkhan not only to power out a couple of Hellkites, but also kind of filter through our draws in case they're a little bit too clunky. I like that both Rix Maadi Reveler and Sarkhan give us a way to kind of smooth out our draws in a deck that otherwise has a lot of 5 and 6 mana spells in it. So decks like this can definitely gum up a little bit from game to game by having the wrong half of their cards, like having too many expensive things against aggro decks. And these cards definitely help us filter through that nonsense in a lot of places. So just go ahead and dive in. I think one of the things that you can usually do to judge decks like this is you look at the cards that they're playing and ask yourself, well, how many of these cards are playable in other decks? And the card quality in this deck is very reasonable. So Freelancer actually pointed out something that I did want to mention. One concern potentially is that we do only have 13 creatures, which might mean that Vivien is a bad card in this deck, right? Because if Vivien is getting a land most of the time, she's not particularly powerful. I've actually been kind of high on 4-mana Vraska since Hydrate Crease has been taking over the format, so it's possible that Vivien might just be worse than playing 4-mana Vraska. Playing that would also pull our curve down a little bit too. So we have mono Temples of Tilt, but we have all of our colors. We have a Llanowar Elf, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. This hand gets to play Sarkhan on turn 3, so it's definitely a keep. It might, Vivien might still be fine. We're going to play some games with her for sure, just to get a feel for it to start. Poor little Llanowar Elf, he didn't do nothing to nobody. We've not played any Self-Mill Phoenix decks on stream. Yeah, there's definitely, like, one of the things we've come back to in this format a lot is, like, how good flying creatures are. And because flying creatures are good, cards like Vivien that kill them are also valuable.
Let us fight.
Hey, Rad.
My methods.
Do I get something for having 99 plus timeouts? I don't know about that one. Maybe it's greedy to discard this. They have like double shock here, like shock lightning strike. I'm gonna wish I had another Sarkhan. So I saw someone suggest chat badges for different things, and I can't arbitrarily assign chat badges to people. That's not something Twitch gives me the ability to do, unfortunately.
Yes. Perfect.
If you're ever wondering about something that past Jeff did, I would encourage you to go back and watch me play whatever deck you're wondering about on my YouTube channel. There's always a wrap-up section at the end that you can skip to if you want to get just the nitty-gritty of what I thought of an archetype.
Bolus told me I should do this.
Hey, Sir Elks. Well, thanks for keeping me employed here, and welcome to a live one. Glad you enjoy it. It took us a few shots, but we did finally get there. I think having different ban lists in paper and online would be very, very bad for the game. That's not something that I would like to see done. Looks like they're playing Temur Reclamation. Matchup's probably tough for us. Yeah. Do you think we're bringing a climb deck to Rivals? Yeah, probably. The one matchup I haven't played a ton yet with the climb deck is the white aggro matchup, so I'm probably going to have Matt or Bob jam that with me, and if the white aggro matchup feels fine, that's probably the deck I'm going to play. Would like an untapped land here so I can play Vraska and kill one of their things.
This.
Wow, we have been unfortunate. Sorry, right, dude. I meant Bob and Shays. Yeah, the Twitch Rivals event is coming back on February 20th. So next Wednesday. I feel personally attacked. Do you want to play tiny white creatures, Klutz? Yeah, I'm gonna try and make sure we have all the pink situated by next week for the Rivals event, ideally. These kind of mid-range control decks that don't have access to counter spells tend to be real bad in the face of decks like what my opponent's playing. So I get 4 Duress and 2 Carnage Tyrant here, but like, I really don't have good tools. I guess I leave the Fines in to pick my creatures back up with, but I don't have that many meaningful creatures either. I have Weather Lady. It looks just like the Vanafear deck, so it looks really clunky and awkward. I'm sure they're plenty capable of winning games of Magic if you get lucky or run well and play well, but not something. I definitely rejected one of those decks in the deck submission queue. Not doing fair modern anytime soon. Very, very off that. Actually, that's not true. I did just accept blue-black fairies because I love blue-black fairies. Zan just doesn't do anything, right? This hand's actually better. It plays the 2-drop on 2 and hopefully filters into some black mana. I'm actually going to keep Llanowar Elves here. Llanowar Elves could potentially set me up for a turn 4 Angrath, which would be ideal. Yeah, no Crushing Canopy in the side. No Crushing Canopy or Assassin Trophy is probably wrong, and we're going to fix that after this match for sure. Alright, if there's any hand we have that could win this matchup, it probably looks like this. Just like 2-2 for 2 into Llanowar Elves into Angrath. Like, it's about as aggressive and as disruptive as we get.
Chase stokes no fire, no steel.
The Cindervine suggestion is really good. I like that, actually. These kind of decks definitely struggle in these matchups, and Cindervines is very good against these decks, so I think that's a good suggestion. Let's get some Cindervines in there. We have a lot of spot removals, like we don't really need the destroy target flying creature portion of Crushing Canopy. Oh, did I forget to queue into Ranked? I definitely wanted to play Ranked with this one.
Back to the devil's chains in the storm-wrecked sea I go. No fire, no steel.
We're playing a meaningful match of Magic. It's fine. That's all I really want, right? Like I don't care about my matches for the most part, like in terms of like winning or losing. I just want to like play games that feel meaningful. So as long as that's happening, that's why the unranked queue even is fine too, because it is MMR based matchmaking for the unranked queue.
No fire, no steel.
It's nice. Get the sabotage out of their hand. I was going to shield for myself and ask you to follow me on Twitter, but I guess that's not an option anymore. What's going on, Draven? I appreciate the 14 months. Welcome back. I'm probably going to revisit Twitter just from a place of purely posting my stuff and not responding to people. Just the interactions on Twitter are just incredibly frustrating. And they're very time consuming. Like you spend a lot of time doing stuff on Twitter. Sadai, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this month. I appreciate it. Yeah, and like not only is it screaming into a void, but like there's a lot of people who like take things out of context on my Twitter, or like take implied meaning that wasn't intended to be there and like use it to be mean, or like use it to say I'm not a good person. So like it's like super downside for me to be actively using it.
No fire, no steel.
Let's actually just play this land and then do this. Draw 3. Like I said, if there was any way for us to actually win this matchup, it definitely involves a draw like we had here. So we are definitely a favorite to win from here. Okay, kind of. I think we're still ahead even with the triple land draw there. Yeah, I didn't delete my Twitter account because at the end of the day, having a Twitter account with 5-digit worth of followers is like worth money for like the work that I do. Like that's important. Those metrics are things that companies care about. So. Hiring a PR company? Nah, at the end of the day, I just need to just like ignore my mentions and just like tweet. Honestly, there's probably Twitter applications out there that will let me just like tweet from my computer without looking at my mentions, which would be nice. No, I haven't posted anything on Twitter since last Friday. Probably just negate here. Knowing about Div business is good though. Hey, what's going on, Angry Land? Well, thanks for keeping my work days going. I appreciate the 6 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm binning Vraska here. Matt's been going to town on my account. Like, he's been tweeting from it. The Rex, is that what you're saying? Maybe bidding Vivien there. I don't know. I'm gonna play Karn and like Karn's gonna do stuff.
I have faced worse than the likes of you. You may regret that choice.
Just kidding. Okay, you had me worried for a hot second. I feel like I've known Matt for a while. That doesn't seem like something he'd do. So. Hey, Malurin, thanks for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, because I drew Vraska Relic Seeker, which can kill Niv Mizzet if they play it next turn, I'm actually going to go ahead and play Vivien here and shoot the Surtrescant, I think. If I hadn't drawn Vraska this turn, I was going to play Angrath and just plus it, because I do need to guaranteed have a way to kill this Niv Mizzet. But because I drew the Vraska to be able to kill the Niv with later, I'm going to go ahead and just do this and kill her Search.
How this thing goes is sometimes restoration means retribution. I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Alright, don't spell pierce or dive down me. Ding. Hey, the gang's all here.
Then you will be left with nothing.
Yeah, taking the negate. The Duress like single-handedly won us the game for sure. Let's go ahead and cast this off the treasure. Yikes, that's brutal.
Not losing ever. Not
Wait,
bad.
what? Alright, well they punted. They should have split that damage so they could shock Vraska. Or shock Vivien, like poke Vraska. They definitely made a mistake there. Yeah, they definitely should have split that up between the two Planeswalkers. I think there was a chance we were in trouble there. If they didn't split that up between the two, if they split that up between the two Planeswalkers, yeah. I feel like that was a pause there and then like a shame scoop. I feel like these bind finalities are probably kind of silly. We have like some good creatures. I'm gonna leave the two in the main, but I think the two more in the sideboard are some hot nonsense. I really want to get a couple copies of Cindervines in here. I think this card's really good if you can cast it. It's worth noting that Vivien was good there, right? Like we mentioned when we started playing that I wasn't sure if Vivien was going to be worthwhile in here. And she was definitely very good. No, I think I'd rather have Cindervines than Crushing Canopy, I think. I think the rest of this looks fine. So let's just make that small swap. And then let's load this up and hop into ranked. I don't know if we need a sweeper like Ritual of Soot for the creature matchups. I want to kind of play it out first and see how it goes. We have a bunch of cheap spot removal, and like we have Rix Maadi Reveler as a blocker, so it doesn't seem like it's too impossible. We have like lava coils out of the sideboard too. This seems fine. I'm pretty sure this is the same matchup we just played, which means this Rix Maadi's going to go ahead and get rid of this cast down, which I'm glad I just jammed a couple of Cindervines on the board if we're going to play this matchup again. Rix Maadi is very good. Very, very good. Puts a little pressure on, smooths the draw out a little bit. It's a good deck to build after you finish mono blue or mono red. That depends on what you're looking to play. A lot of different things that are speaking the format right now. I mean, to be fair, the opponent's not playing an Nexus deck. They're playing a Wilderness Reclamation deck, which is different. Not all Reclamation decks are Nexus decks. That's disappointing. Maybe I should have waited on this just because, like, I liked all the cards in my hand. And, like, now I don't have a guaranteed way to, I don't have a guaranteed way to get to Vraska without drawing another land. And, like, I've already ditched a couple of lands. Or just one, I guess. Alright, don't have a counterspell, please. Don't have a counterspell, please. Their last card, Sabotage. Alright, so I get the Reclamation is scary with explicitly Expansion Explosion, but if they don't have Expansion Explosion, Search for Azcanta much scarier, so Vivien probably finds land 6, that's fair. That's fair. So if their last card's Expansion Explosion, we're in a terrible spot here. If their last card is not Expansion Explosion, we're in a great spot. So this means their last card is, of course, Expansion Explosion. They get to 12, so they're going to hit us. They're going to kill Vivien and draw 8 cards here. Probably just concede at that point. Oh, only 6 cards. Very conservative.
I'll always survive. You'll see.
If I draw a land, we'll keep playing. Alright. Hey, Blue to Noob. Thank you very much for the checking out the sponsor quit. Hope you enjoy your brush. Be sure to drop me a message from your Twitch account letting me know which deck you'd like to bump up in the queue is. And thank you for checking out the sponsor. Yeah, that's fair. I think this seems good. Lightning Strike is much worse against Adanto Vanguard, and it's much worse against aggro in general. And this deck's more controlling and mid-ranging and not aggressive. Like, I know we've played 2 matches in a row where, like, we've had to take the aggressive role, so, like, Lightning Strike is much better in this matchup. But in general, the places where we want that spot removal, Moment of Craving is going to tend to be better than Lightning Strike, just because it kills more things that we care about and buffers our health total a little bit. Doing just swell, Cimeric. Hanging out, playing some Jund Planeswalkers. Got some Mono Red Memekin and Mardu Angels coming up later today. Yeah, this is fine. I think I'm gonna ditch the Carnage Tyrant at this point. Hey, what's going on, Gaja? Good to have you in today. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Ooh. A little shocking. Thereabouts. Ravager Wurm. Don't need that one just yet. Nothing witty to say here. Thanks for the content. Thanks for the 19 months, Judgeinator. Thanks for keeping me around. Ooh, that's a good one. Blue-green climb. Blue-green, and there's 2 3-hour videos on my YouTube channel that are me playing blue-green climb and teamer climb. Were the 2 decks that got me across the finish line. Feels like a counterspell turn. Interesting. Maybe they have one and they just don't care about Karn. It's like fair. He's like, just draws cards. And like, this is a matchup where the opponent doesn't really care about us having card advantage so much as they just care about us having specific cards. Oh, sorry. Every time Karn pluses and hits 2 spells, it feels like cheating. How do those 2 climb decks compare with Elf Climb? I think they're much better against sweeper decks and control decks. Sure. Hey, Simmerick with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much and welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. The Civic Nexus deck seems great. I think if you're looking to just linear people with Nexus of Faith, that's definitely the deck you want to be playing. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy this during their second main phase. You'll notice I put a stop there. How do I stop sucking while piloting various climb decks? Practice, practice, practice. I just don't want them to cast like an expansion for 6 this turn. To set a bar that's incredibly low, the 4-color pod deck in Modern was less bad than I was expecting it to be. Nexus is a replacement effect. The easiest way to tell if something's a replacement effect or a trigger is triggers say, if this happens, then this happened. Replacement effects say, if this happens, something else happens instead. We're actually in a pretty good spot here. I'm gonna go ahead and plus Karn again. We're ideally looking to find like a Duress here. I should have plus Karn before I played the Vraska. This like gives them extra information. Hey, Slinker. Thanks for checking out Quip. Hope you enjoy your toothbrush. Be sure to let me know from a DM on Twitch what deck you'd like to bump in the queue. I agree, Sags. I think even if I do go back to using Twitter, it's like when I dropped using Reddit. I haven't actually I still like browse Reddit for some news stuff, but like I haven't actually posted on Reddit in like 2 months. I'm definitely much happier not doing it.
I'm just getting started.
It's not even about going back casually so much as I mostly like, I've had a couple people mention that they miss me like posting my deck list throughout my stream, so like I'll probably go back to just like doing that and posting announcements on Twitter. Like when I have the details together for the sub tournaments later on, like posting that on Twitter is probably a good idea. Maybe I'm supposed to keep blessing Karn here. I'm gonna grab a dragon though. Although I think they know about this other dragon. Let's play that, play this. I'm gonna go ahead and give this haste. Tech for 5 here. That's like if you're someone who's around Magic and nerdy folks, you're probably familiar with the website XKCD. There's the really famous XKCD comic, which is "Come to bed, honey," and the guy saying, "I can't. Someone on the internet is wrong." Like I was definitely that person through undergrad and a lot of grad school, and even past that for many years in my early 20s. It's a really miserable way to be. Don't do that. It's not worth your time. As a heads up for people that are looking for deck lists in the meantime, if you go to my website here, this page on my website has literally every standard deck we play on stream on it with the video to YouTube, and all the deck lists are in the video descriptions. Let's start by plussing this.
How convenient. An excellent choice.
Yeah, I maybe should have done this last turn, because I would have found me the Duress sooner. And like getting a Duress would have been a big deal here.
I'll show you unhinged.
Yeah, I'm done with the 12-hour days. I'm planning to go till about 5 o'clock every day this week. That's gonna be my new norm as long as the standard queue stay full. So I'm gonna be doing from standard from like 9 to 5, and with modern a couple hours beforehand. All right, so I have 3, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack with both of these here and see where we end up at. If they have an expansion explosion, they can kill this Hellkite. Yeah, and guess up. Yeah, I was doing well with Twitter responses for a little bit, and my rule was if someone said something that I felt was stupid to me and they didn't have over a certain number of followers, I just didn't respond and I muted them instead. And then when the whole Mythic Invitational thing came up, people were slinging so much crap my way that I started breaking that rule, and it was bad. For a few weeks there I was doing really well, and then there was just such a constant flow of crap. The people who were like telling me, the thing that really ended up pushing me over the edge on it was people that kept saying you didn't want to play because it was best of one when it wasn't best of one. Just like really easy, just like, could you just like pay attention? Awesome, stay true. Well, glad to have you back. And Hairball, notification won't go away. Well, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Never feel bad about notifications. Love to see that. They're dead here, right? They're dead to this fight finality. Yeah, it's just, it's tough, right? Like, not only that, but like this is my job, right? So like, it felt like for a long time that like when people were like posting literal lies, that it was like, well, they're hurting my job or hurting my brand, when in reality, I was hurting myself more by trying to like call them out as liars rather than just ignoring them and muting them. Had to break that feeling that like it's worth defending myself when people post things that are factually incorrect. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. But, you know, I thought this matchup was going to be really hard, but we've played it. This is our second time in a row now, and post-board it doesn't feel too terrible. It feels like what the Duress is, and like our deck's a lot more aggressive than it looks on the surface, and like our planeswalkers that like interact with their enchantments seems super reasonable. Yeah, and like that just goes back to the same that like people put words in my mouth because they don't actually listen to what I'm saying. They hear what they want to hear, right? So like that's also a very human thing, right? That's something people do very commonly. What's my favorite thing to eat? Cheesecake. Yeah, definitely, Slinker. Thanks for the support. It is natural, but it's still bad. It's still a bad instinct that I had to break. right, well, I think we're actually in a good spot again here. This Cindervines was a great draw, so I get to curve like Elf into Vines Duress into Karn into Angrath. The more that you're not wrong, the mantra of any publicity is good publicity is definitely holds true. My deck of the day today? I don't know. The day's not over. There, I'll save you the trouble. If you don't appreciate my content, you don't need to announce your displeasure to the world. It's okay to just change the channel. It's okay to go, you know what? I don't like that Jeff doesn't let people post nonsense in his chat. I want to be able to post nonsense. So go somewhere where you can post nonsense. It's okay. I won't be offended.
I've lost meat.
One of the things that happily sets me apart from other places on the internet is I don't just let people post nonsense. I get that some people think that if something isn't explicitly offensive, they should be able to type it regardless, but that's not how this chat works here. Coming this summer, the documentary you never knew you needed, the Twitter fiasco starring Jeff as Jeff.
The wilds are my shield.
I didn't want to put the Shockland into play tap there because I wanted to hold up the Cindervines activation just in case. How do I make my cheesecake? Any cheesecake that's put in front of me. We ain't a cheesecake snob, okay? Listen, I am fat and American. I am not picky about my cheesecake. Don't get upset, Nivik. Life's too short. Life's too short.
Come to me.
We did mention Vivien could be a little bit medium here.
Yes. Perfect.
All right, I think we're actually still ahead, so like I'm not super worried. Their draw is working out real bad too. I think this is actually a match where we don't just hammer Vivien, right? On 8, we want to just like uptick her, find a dragon ideally. Like, and I've got dubbed Cindervines here, so like they're not going to do anything too silly until they like get enchantments going on. Yeah, now that we have best of 3 direct challenge coming to Arena, that's probably going to be something we'll offer at some point.
Balance comes.
Some type of donation to play matches. I need to figure out like what the rates will be though.
I'll show you unhinged.
Ooh. Dunk. Oh, yeah. Can you feel it? I wonder if I'm supposed to play Ravager Wurm here with haste just so they can cast fewer spells. Although if they have a counter spell, I get in a lot of trouble. We're supposed to be getting the best of 3 this Wednesday. Or sorry, Thursday, the 14th, I think. 14th is Thursday. There's a post on the main site. Yeah, I think I should have played the Worm this turn, because I'd have hit them to 2 here, and then they'd be dead. So I think they're probably still dead regardless, but it's worth noting, this is one of the things that makes Magic such a tough and interesting game is you can make right plays and lose, but you can also make bad plays and win. So I think I should have played the Worm there in case they had a bunch of cantrips like this, which their deck is likely to have. What's my favorite cereal? I'm not really a snob. I like a lot of different things. I've actually been snacking on this Honey Graham Crunch the last couple of days, and it's very delicious. I'm actually kind of digging this deck. It seems sweet. Vivien's been fine. I'm glad we played games with Vivien before throwing her away. She's definitely not as good here as she is in higher creature consecrated decks, but she's very reasonable. No one's going to accidentally get to top 8. That's not how these ranking systems work. The ranks are probably going to be very volatile between, like, let's make up numbers like 50 and past 50, but like at the very top of the rankings, they're going to become very compact and very difficult to move through. What time is Memekin coming? We've been playing this deck for about 45 minutes, so we'll probably play Memekin in about another 45 minutes or so. Or more. This might be a 2-hour league. If we keep doing well with this deck, I'm probably going to play it for closer to 2 hours because I like what it's doing. Please don't play a basic plains and a 2-power creature. Yes! Fist bump. Control deck. Hands great against a control deck, chat. Must counter spell. Must counter spell. Must counter spell. I don't really have a preferred Drake's deck. There is a Drake's deck coming up in the queue at some point, but it's just card for card one of the deck lists from the events recently. Yeah, Ravager Wurm in a more controlling shell seems sweet. I actually think we should probably try some Ravager Wurms in the Teamer control deck we played yesterday. Which, if you like Teamer and you didn't see the Teamer control deck we played yesterday, you should go watch it. It's excellent. Very, very good. I looked adorable with braids, T Cloudy. I feel like it's been a hot second since we pulled the braids picture up on stream. I feel like Facebook is good for reliving old photos, right? It took Sarkhan because I can cast it this turn. That makes sense. Yeah, the Teamer deck did get its own page, so I liked it. Mortify, rude. Alright, alright. I like to share this picture every once in a while. Remember where you've been, chat. This is why I'm not afraid to do things like pink hair, because I've done all the things I can do to be embarrassed. I've done all the things I can do to be embarrassed. It's been a long time. Once upon a time, I had hair, and then I had children.
I won't hide. We need to move quickly.
Pink braids when? Hey, Kriggerfur, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What do I do? Do I just like beep beep and play the worm? Drawing the second worm here is actually pretty good. The battle cry of the worm. This is kind of medium if they Kaya's Wrath me though. If they Kaya's Wrath me and I don't draw a land for the second worm, I feel really bad. That bodes well for our hero. That bodes well for our hero. That means we're likely going to get to play second worm, mow down Teferi this turn. I'm expecting to get mortified if Vraska's contempted off the first worm. Gosh, how much better would Ravager Wurm or would Angrath be if he could hit opposing planeswalkers? Just like how much better would he be? Like an absurd degree, right? I am 0% to play around Settle Wreckage here. Can't beat it, not playing around it. Both the worms are going at Teferi because I don't want to die to one removal spell.
Really should have seen that coming.
I'm of the opinion that you will lose way more games to playing around Settle than you're ever going to win because you did play around it. No, he does life loss. So old Planeswalker rule, he still did not hit walkers. Alright, 2 pieces of card advantage here. Do you have Kaya's Wrath? If they have Kaya's Wrath, we're behind, but not out of it. Because our deck does have a lot of gas off the top, right? Okay. Well, I think I don't think I'm playing Angrath out here. This screams absorb, right? So I'm just gonna play this and pass. Go. Hungry, hungry boy, opponent. Hungry, hungry hippo. Nivik, I saw your post on Discord. That people like that are why people ask for complimentary timeouts. Just so funny. I don't understand how you could be subscribed to this channel. Like, that person had been subscribed, they had a boot, right? How can you, like, watch the channel enough for 3 months to subscribe and not understand how the rules work? I don't know. Tis not mine to wonder why. He's a Bellhaunt. No, I don't think you should play around Bellhaunt game 1. There are rules. We're not animals, chat. It could have been sub gifts. That's true. There are a lot of gifts on this channel. Ooh, that bodes well for me. Bottoms up. Yeah, buddy. Hey, Trugamar, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again. We have a lot of folks in here that I'm churned through. If you haven't seen it, please go fill out the Wizard of the Coast survey. Question number 39 asks you about your preferred Magic content creators. I'd appreciate it if you list me there. You can check off other people as well, but I'd appreciate it if you list me on question 39 if you're here watching and enjoying my content.
You're just fuel for the no fire.
Also, if you're a sub, I got a couple of new emotes up. Got a couple of new emotes. We got a yikes with the red exclamation point and a Hydra head. For the old I feel like we're gonna get a solid 2 years out of the Hydra head, right? Like that card's not going anywhere until it rotates. Yep, survey link is here. Winning this matchup game 1 feels real good for us since we have like all these crappy cast downs and Moment of Cravings in our deck that don't have a text box against them. Have to imagine we get better post board than they do. Is it crazy to cut Llanowar Elves in this matchup? Is it crazy? Fair warning, that survey is super long. The survey is gonna take you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. It's a long one. I think I'm supposed to cut the elves. I found like 4 different spots to plug Jeff into that survey. God bless. I think Find is worth keeping in. We don't have a lot of creatures, but the creatures that we have are super impactful, right? Then they're definitely leaving in Kaya's Wrath against me, which means they're just going to get caught up in the collateral. We're playing against a deck with 4 Thought Erasure. I'm just going to keep hands that have lands and spells in them. This hand's like not amazing, but it's like 3 must-answer cards, so I think this is a keep. God bless Dirty Digits. So I could take their absorb, but I think taking their source of card advantage here is better for us. Miss Bits, thanks for the Prime support. Thanks for putting your Bezo bucks again. Sarkhan's actually been really good. I'm actually pretty high on Sarkhan in general. We played 4 of him in a Teamer control deck yesterday too. Even without Hellkite, he helps you rummage through your draws, like fixing your wrong half problem. He turns removal spells into something useful against control. He turns just like, he increases your average card quality and then eventually ultimates. I have a question. How good do you think you are at Magic? I would love to see the data used to study the Dunning-Kruger effect. You mean me personally, or are you saying generically? I'd probably rate myself as a solid B, maybe a B plus at Magic, as far as play skill is concerned. Like, we're above the average, but we're by no means like a Hall of Fame player. I feel like by virtue of the volume of Magic I play, probably a B plus at least. I do think, and this is something that helps me translate while streaming, while in a tournament setting, I think I'm a solid B+. I do think because of my volume of practice that I have here doing it, I'm definitely one of the best players in the world that comes to playing Magic while multitasking, which is a big part of this job, right? Being able to, like, play Magic while putting in chat commands and timing people out and, like, keeping track of my dashboard and all these other things. Yikes. All right, we drew a Cindervines, they drew a Teferi. Need a live one.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Let's skip to the good.
I agree. I think that, like, that's most things like that, right? People always assume they're above average. I have the unfair chat advantage. God bless.
No time for a break.
Probably dead here. I think we're probably done. I'm gonna take one more draw step, but the Teferi just like sitting here hammering into us means we're likely done. No, I think 25 lands is great. Our deck has a ton of 5s and 6 drops, so stop it. don't be super results based every time you flood, cut a land. It's just not hot nonsense. Hey, look at that. We're at parity. Welcome to parity. They're drawing 2 cards, but they're also discarding a card.
Hurry!
If they don't find a Vraska's Contempt, the Angrath could be okay here. Although I guess the Teferi is working towards ulting here, huh? Poor Angrath not being able to hit Planeswalkers. Okie doke.
No fire, no steel.
All right, if they don't have a Kaya's Wrath, we're gonna be in an okay spot here. This checks Teferi. I mean, if this sticks, they're not gonna ult the Teferi because this is gonna give Teferi a love tap for 7 next turn. Oh, I could have Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, that's such a good line. I always forget that this can target our own things. I don't know, like, there's a chance, like, this ultimate just kills them, right? So, like, if they don't find a Wrath here, like, this Angrath ultimate might just kill them. Like, they have 14 cards in their bin at this point. And, like, there's a good chance with how many cards they've drawn, they just, like, have another Teferi in their hand.
fire.
No, Cindervines does not deal damage to planeswalkers.
Want me to phase you out of time?
Want me to phase you out of time? Hold land for dispersal. Have we seen discovery out of them? I guess it's right to hold it for dispersal. So it's worth noting that Angrath could never redirect to a planeswalker. He causes life loss. So even under the old rules, Angrath. Oh, holding it for Sarkhan. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have Banefire in my deck either, so like holding it for Sarkhan is super correct. And for Sarkhan, the dispersal is pretty unlikely, but holding it for Sarkhan makes a lot of sense. I cannot believe we are in this game. I almost conceded.
No fire, no steel.
Alright, Angrath. Angrath ult is lethal next turn, so let's just go ahead and kill. Actually, I'm supposed to hit them, right? Because hitting them, it means they have to answer Carnage Tyrant and Angrath, right? This gives them an extra draw, but putting them dead 2 directions is probably better. Yeah. Okay, I think I want to put them dead in 2 directions. Enjoy the Death Lizard. He loves you. He loves you. He reaches out his stumpy arms to embrace you in his lizard hug. That's true, actually. If they hit Vraska's Contempt for the Angrath, they won't be dead to the Lizard, which is like not negligible. So that might be a reason to have killed the Teferi here. Yeah, Cindervines got in some chip shots. It did like 5 or 6 this game at least, and then eventually got mortified. Oh! I'm sure, you know, if I look at the people who keep doing well with Esper control, I'm not convinced they're not just winning because they're really good Magic players. Like, every time I play against Esper control, it just like looks like a pile of mediocrity. Just like, what is this deck doing? Why are people playing it? They must have just had like Mortifies and Cast Downs, yeah. We're back up to 252. I don't know about you, chat, but I'm feeling 252. Do. Okay, let's hand. Let's do it. If we draw a red source in the first 2 turns, we get to turn two Sarkhan. Okay, let's draw that red source next turn. Oh, buddy.
No you of dragons.
I think I'm keeping all my cards here, right? I think I'm keeping all my cards. I think I want all 5 of them. I got you, the full Hoaglandian. God, this curve is vomit-inducing. Just the turn 2 Sarkhan, turn 3 Hellkite, Vivien, Vraska Relic Seeker curve. Just like, welcome to Thunderdome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Real decks have curves, yep. Alright, you got a Contempt here? Sure.
You think you're a warrior?
Eggs are good. Thanks for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. I really love this whole ladder season thing where people keep talking about things like right now. If this ladder is anything like any other ladder season, it's going to be very, very different towards the end of the month. So what you need to understand is, like, most ladder seasons have internal rankings, right? And when you start off, everybody has internal rankings that are very close to each other, so it's easier to move up and down. Like, even watching this stream, right? You see we move hundreds of spaces every win or loss.
I have failed you.
And as you get deeper into the season, the rankings become more compact and more difficult to move through. Because you need a higher quantity to play to move up. My hand's pretty bad at this point, but I could probably hit them with this next turn, and then, like, play this plus this. No, I'm 1 mana short of that, right? They must have changed the survey, because it was question 39 asking about your favorite content creators before. The gang's all here, chat. The gang's all here. It's a party. It's a party. There's an other option where you can fill in my name and other content creators. They listed all the big ones like TCC and Goldfish and Alpha Investments. Which, the fact that Alpha Investments on there really just tells me I'm just not big enough yet. Oh, that's fair, Boshek. So the numbers will be different approximately. Rudy's on there because he's got almost 2,000 YouTube subscribers.
This is nothing.
He has 200,000 YouTube subscribers. That's massive. That's massive in general. It's huge for Magic.
No fire, no steel.
Sure, they probably, have you listened, like, if you listen to the things that he says about Wizards of the Coast, he says things that I would never dream of saying and don't feel are necessary. But, like, the fact that he got listed on there really just means if you get big enough, they won't ignore you.
Stand down or prepare to die.
Alright, so what am I doing? Thanks, Boshek. Yeah, it's a good metric for people. If you want to help my numbers in places, make sure you sub to the YouTube channel too. So let's plus this.
Come to me.
If I Vraska shoot this, I can play this with haste. And then have these attack their Vraska, so it can't kill my dragon.
That won't stop me.
9 inches of snow. Stay safe. Stay safe.
I will fight you. I'll make use of that later.
This has not been particularly close. Our curve was gross here. The gang's all here, chat. Glorybringer or Skarrgan? Probably Glorybringer. Alright, what am I doing here? Lava Coil's absurd, right? Probably better than Moment of Craving. Fine. Divine Finality seems fine. Need one more cut. I think I'm gonna trim a Rix Maadi. Nah, I want the elf. I want my man in this matchup. This matchup's definitely about getting out ahead. I think Carnage Tyrant's actually too small in these mid-range matchups a lot of the time. Yeah, I could see cutting Sarkhan too. I wonder if I want Vraska's Contempt of my own to interact with their planeswalkers in large creases. I can see that being reasonable. Like the 2/2 body isn't super meaningful in this matchup, so I'm gonna bring in some more removal spells. Did you hate turn 2 Sarkhan? Listen, Sarkhan's doing his best, okay? I think I keep this. I think the games they win, they tend to run us over. So, like, having a couple cast outs to not get run over seems fine. I think Eldest Reborn's not good in this matchup because neither side has Carnage Tyrant anymore, and making them sacrifice a creature generally isn't meaningful because they have lots of bad creatures sitting around, like Llanowar Elves. The Eldest Reborn's in the sideboard for the Esper and Jeskai matchups. Tef decks, basically. I think Grawl needs to be competitive in the current standard. I think it's fine. I mean, I agree with you that's probably going to discourage everyone heavily invested players, but like, did you consider the fact that maybe they want the survey's designed to get feedback from those heavily invested players? No, I think Grawl mid-range is fine. I think focusing on Grawl as far as like Phoenix decks are concerned is fine. If you look on my website, there's a Grawl Monsters deck with Phoenix and Skarrgan Hellkite that I think is very reasonable. I think it can go toe-to-toe with a lot of the big decks in the format. Birds have been bolted, yeah. I decided to cast down their thing there because I didn't want them to be able to play a 5-mana creature the following turn. I'm gonna go ahead and just kill their Crisis here.
Ever seen water burn your crew for my freedom?
I'm gonna update my survey command and put in approximately there. Someone else pointed out that the survey changes based on what your responses are. So like for me to get it to be question 39, I must have filled in different ways, different things. All right, let's ditch this land.
I fight with the dragons. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Doom Whisperer is interesting. It's a fatty blocker, so it's probably good against like Drakes and Mono Blue. There's a toggle on the main window of Magic Arena that you click to reveal all game modes, which unlocks traditional play. What? Okay. Deal. That's interesting.
Beasts are much more reliable than...
Yeah, top deck Vivien or Vraska are the two things we're looking for. Sorry, that was not the droid I was looking for.
No fire, no steel.
Is your other card better than a Jade Light? It's better than a Jade Light. Well, that's terrifying.
Even squirrels hit harder.
I'm not actually listed, the Rex. Wizards doesn't consider me large enough for that. Which, by the metrics of the people they listed, I'm not.
Sail for high and dry.
You
The
can't
content creator
stop
question
me.
is different for everyone. Or different depending on what you fill in for other questions. Hey, XM, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. Back to Magic Arena.
Would you like to see what's left of Scala? No one knows the
The sound bugging out has something to do with the audio driver on my computer. That's why. It's one of the reasons why software is complicated. There's lots of different things that can pop up on lots of different hardware and software configurations. Yeah, it's probably something specific to the audio driver on my system. It's why PC dev is hard, correct. It's why developing for consoles is easy, because there's set configurations of hardware that you have to test for. Subtle, thanks for the 3 months, in case I didn't miss that. Yeah, Mr. Peach, I just banned that person. They're not worth talking to. People think any kind of criticism is just mudslinging these days. It's just like, well, it's just like, people like that just aren't worth bickering with. Life's too short. This hand's really good if we draw some lands, and if I find a third land, Sarkhan will hopefully help me find lands past that. Well, I was going to cast down their elf, but then we drew our own, so you get a pass, Mr. Llanowar. No, I think cards like Thoughtseize and Inquisition create garbage gameplay, and we'll probably never see them reprinted. Only more narrow discard spells like Duress will see play, or more expensive spells like Thought Erasure. Am I getting negated? Am I about to get negated? Find Finale's in the deck for its flexibility, like it is in most decks. So, like, we don't have a ton of creatures, but our creatures that we do have are fairly high quality. Yeah, I agree. They have a stroke or another negate here, it looks like. I didn't run the cast down out because if the second cast down out because if they have a Doom Whisperer, I want to be able to kill that.
Wild animals I like.
Getting a little bit punished for not killing their thing. Hopefully rip a land this turn. All of our lands are untapped at this point, right?
Never seen water, no
Trig,
fire.
thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. Ideally, we can find another land next turn to jam Ravager Wurm. And hopefully the second counterspell that they have is another negate, not a disdainful stroke. Sweet. Creatures that get eaten by Ravager Wurm, sign me up. Grass. They did have stroke. Alright. If they find a second creature to play this turn, I'm gonna be in trouble because then Vraska or Vivien ults. I guess if I draw an untapped land, I can Ravager Wurm and hit with Llanowar Elf as well. We're hoping they just play one creature this turn, and then Ravager Wurm can eat one and then bump into Vivien. All right, we're gonna see both of these come down here, unfortunately. So really want to draw a land this turn, so that way I can Ravager Wurm and attack with Llanowar Elves as well, so the Vivien does an ultimate. Perfect. Haste. Fight. I'm gonna fight the O2 here, because if the O2 turns into a 3/5 next turn, I'm not gonna be able to continue pressuring the Vivien. I have to attack with both here, which lets them eat the Llanowar Elves, but then she goes down to 4, which is fine.
Okay, so you've got claws. Balance comes.
Wow, the top of their deck has a lot of gas. And I guess like, you know, when they have the Vivien going, they're bound to have a bunch of gas, right? Pretty dead here. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick, and when I get back, we're gonna play one more match with this before we move on to Memekin. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. Hope you're having a good one. Alright, one more with Junbook. Jacob dies twice with the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I feel like there's been a lot more variety today than what we played yesterday. Yesterday was like all Esper, Mono Blue, and White aggro, and today we played against a few different green blacks as well as Team of Reclamation. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this down, play a land attack for 1. I don't think I really want to discard anything for Rix Maadi just yet. Gonna kill my Dargon. Hopefully we draw a land next turn, so that way I can go Llanowar Elf, hit them with Hellkite. I guess if I Spectacle the Rix Maadi, I discard my Find. That's a good draw. Yeah, Skarrgan's a really powerful card. Definitely been super happy with that one. The green-black deck's very good. I think the Sultai deck's one of the better decks in the format. It's green-black. Green-black was one of the better decks last season, and this is basically green-black with a splash. They have Tightsail Freebooter in their main deck. Interesting. It's kind of wild. Huh. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play this and draw a card. I guess I could have left up Cast Down here. Yeah, I probably should have tapped differently. Leave up drawing Cast Down here. So, if this Vivien doesn't find them a creature to play and they don't have a removal spell, I get to Skarrgan Hellkite, kill the Vivien next turn. Okay. Driving in my dragon, beep beep.
I'll be back. Just like before.
When I said the survey was long, I was not kidding. The reason the survey is so long is because they ask redundant questions in it, and one of the benefits to asking redundant questions is to reduce response bias. Because a question was asked in a certain way the first time, makes the results more accurate. Golden Oreo Mini, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the third of a year. I appreciate it. Hey, Red Panda Push with the Prime support. Thanks for checking in. Welcome back. You're welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here.
Sorry. Were you using that?
So... I think I just play this as a 5/5 here. If they have a removal spell, it feels kind of bad, but, like, they're nowhere near dead, so, like, playing it out as a 4/4 haste seems medium. Fine Finality's real good here. You can leave responses blank, Nivik. I left a few blank. Three of your finest magic cards, please. Man, treasures are busted.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Alright, Lava Coil again. Moment of Craving out. Probably a Rix Maadi out. We did that. We boarded that out last time. Seems fine. Boarded in Vraska's Contempt last time. It's probably not unreasonable. I think I like that. I'm gonna play the match out, but I'm probably gonna concede to this person like I did to the person who was 30th yesterday. They're currently 20th, so Hopefully they don't concede before we can, if it looks like we're going to win. Yeah, they're ranked 20, so. Any sponsors that sell keyboards? I don't believe so. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? It's like missing red mana, doesn't have any early plays. This hand has... Oh, wait, perfect. I'll say this hand has Dragonskull Summit basic forest, which is awkward, but the rest of it's fine. There's an event for the top 8. I'm just gonna go ahead and slow them down here a little bit. Why do I not want... It's not that I don't want to be high ranked, it's that I'm definitely not going to play enough to top 8 the thing. And people who are in the top 50 or 30 or whatever you want to call it, they likely are. So I don't like to take points out of the system if I can avoid it. There's no reason for me to, like, drag someone else's score down. That's like trying to grind. It's so wild how many people think that doing something nice for one person isn't like being mean to everybody you weren't nice to. This came up yesterday when I conceded to someone. Like, it's really okay to do a nice thing for one person. It doesn't like by doing a nice thing for one person, I'm not being mean to everyone else by happenstance. When you donate to one charity, you're not giving the middle finger to every other charity you didn't donate to. It's not how being nice works. We're dead, right? Yeah, it's a little bit too slow out of the gate here. Do I want Moment of Craving in this matchup? I might just want Moment of Craving. If the person deserves to be top 8. Nobody deserves anything. And the being top 8 is going to be a measure of luck and endurance more than skills, so... What do you mean by Bezo Bucks? So Twitch Prime is money from Amazon Prime, and the owner of Amazon is named Jeff Bezos. So the joke is that Twitch Prime is like giving us his money. He's technically Amazon's paying me when you Prime sub to my channel. Thanks for the Bezo Bucks Dash Assault. I appreciate it. Is the quip worth it? It depends on what you mean by worth. If you're in the market for an electric toothbrush that's got it's a quality product and good mobile, the size of it's one of the big draws in my mind. A lot of electric toothbrushes are really clunky, and this one is not. Revel, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think the introduction of Planeswalkers were a mistake. Not at all. I think Planeswalkers are great. What's the battery life like on the Quip? Well, their replenish package says they send you a new battery every 3 months, so I've got to imagine it lasts about 3 months. I haven't had mine 3 months yet, so I can't verify firsthand that yet. Yeah, it's not much larger than a non-electric toothbrush. It's very compact. Oh, I think I need to go ahead and cast down. So I keep the board kind of clear. See, looks like it didn't matter. And this is the point, right? Like, the difference between matches of Magic and not is often decided by some land screw, right? Like, so they deserved it or less than someone else because, like, they got land screwed. Like, you know, like, there's really... Magic's got a lot of variance in it, chat. Nobody deserves anything. Alright, that's a wrap on that. Let's play one more with this. Let's try and end on a high note rather than on a Magic happening note. Alright, take two. Speaking of sponsors, it's time for a bar.
I know what I'm doing.
I'm putting them on Esper control with no plays for the first two turns, so I'm going to discard this cast down. If they're on Esper mid-range, I'm going to be really sad, though. Maybe I should have been conservative there and discarded the second Sarkhan. Very possible. Very possible I should be conservative there and discard the second Sarkhan. Yeah, my code for Elisa still works. Even if you don't end up getting Elisa, I would definitely recommend getting a foam mattress. They are much better than traditional pillow tops. The Lisa comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee, though, so if you were to get one and decide that it's not for you, you can get a full refund on it. But my links for those for the US and the CA still work. Still sleep on that every night.
You may regret that choice.
I'll show you unhinged.
We might actually stabilize here. Our planeswalkers are going to generate a lot of card advantage.
Much more reliable.
And like I have Dragon plus a bunch of Vraskas here, so we might actually survive a Thief hit or two. You'll be able to overcome since they're our own card advantage. This is like 2 away from alting too, which is nice. The BZ with the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping that this way. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Meet my newest friend.
I make my own. I'll take what's mine.
Yes.
I'm going to be playing in the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series standard tournament next month. It's one of the old sponsors scroll on the banner. Their last couple tournaments have been over 200 players. That's sweet. And thank you TZT. Is there a cap on how many Mythic players there can be? There are not.
Let us fight! I don't need this. I need this.
started.
The wilds are my shield.
I'll be taking that.
I will call the dragons.
Well, I think we successfully overcame their Thieves' Insanity.
Possible.
I definitely didn't give them my DCI number with my submission. Yes, I have one. No, you don't need to know who I am. Based on how they've treated me, based on my feedback, if you put anything remotely negative or anything that's not considered a glowing review on their forum, I would encourage you not to put your DCI number down there.
Nature.
You're no fire, no steel.
They are coming.
God, I'm so glad we played one more. I'm so glad we played one more. Aren't you glad we played one more, chat? I'm glad we played one more.
Belligerent needs of
When this deck gets going, gosh, does it get going. Hey, the gang's all here. That's not true. Karn is crying in the graveyard somewhere. Poor Karn. Poor Karn. Please stop. Please stop. Ugh.
No fire.
This is exactly what this hand needed, chat. It really needed a draw 3. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You got me. You've negated my spell.
show no mercy.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
Do I make things? I'm gonna make things. If they have Kaya's Wrath, we're still fine. Go. Waiting for mass manipulation. They can only mass manip for X's2 here. Alright. I appreciate their ability, their gumption to not concede here.
Don't doubt.
That's not true. I'd have conceded a long time ago, actually.
Balance comes.
Stop playing with your food. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Damn you maggots!
Do-do-do-do. Driving in my worm, beep beep. Alright, so they have hostage takers and thieves in their main deck, which means I don't just want to cut all my removal. I do want to cut all of those. I probably want this Eldest Reborn. Do I want Duress? They had Negate in their main deck. I don't really know what their deck is doing. Find Finality maybe is not where I want to be. It's probably a Duress matchup. Trim a couple Rix Maadi. I think because they have creatures in play, I cut Llanowar Elves against the Esper control matchup, but because they have so many creatures, I think I leave Elves in my deck here. Let's give this a go. My poor cast down might be a hair too much removal. I have no idea what we're gaining from adding red and Mardu Angels. So if you're not familiar, a lot of the decks that we play on this stream are viewer-submitted deck lists. So I'm playing someone's deck that they sent in card for card. We play some matches, we give some feedback, and that's one of the things we'll be looking to talk about is, are the red cards worth the addition to the deck? Schnookums, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping me your Bezo bucks this month. Welcome. I mean, saying Angrath sees zero play isn't strictly correct, right? Like, the Jund Whirler decks had some fringe play, and that deck plays Angrath. I think Angrath's very reasonable. If you're interested in seeing the deck list for the upcoming Mardu Angel deck, it's going to be the last deck we play today after Memekin. You can always find it in the deck queue on my website. This elf is about to go the distance. That's the truth. Oh my gosh. I accidentally clicked on this while trying to drag the land from my hand into play, and because I played the land after clicking on it, I can't undo the floating mana. So when they live at 1, we know in our heart of hearts that we really won the game. When they live at 1, we know that we deserve to win. Deserved. Give me my elf back. Get out of here. And errors you'd never do in real life, Theater. Yeah, things that don't happen in Paper Magic for 100. It's my elf and I want him now. Absorb me, baby. Absorb! Reid. I asked you to absorb me, not negate me. I gave very specific instructions. I agree, Duo. When people talk about paper just being easier and there only being things that go in this direction, I think it really cuts both ways. There are plenty of things that only happen in paper that never happen in Arena that would happen in paper. Alright. Let's fight your 2-3. Give them the worm. It's like my favorite when people say they never mistap their lands in paper, but the auto tapper gets them on Arena. It's like, you really haven't played enough Paper Magic if you've never tapped the wrong land by mistake. That stuff happens all the time. I have 6 lands already, so discarding that extra land there seems fine. Do you have a way to kill my Ravager Wurm? You do not, and I have a cast down for your Insanity. So I think this actually puts us in the lead here, huh? We're not ahead by a massive margin, but we're definitely ahead on board. And we only have 1 card in hand. A little Sarkhan. Sarkhan do So, Sarkhan is going to increase our average card quality a good deal, which is nice. He basically gives us a redraw every turn if we draw a land or a blank. Madness. What madness? Like that. A redraw towards the card. A little Karn advantage going on here. And Karn, alongside Sarkhan, is actually a bit of a combo because Karn tends to draw us bad cards every turn, and then Sarkhan gives us a chance to turn those bad cards into something meaningful. You can reflect and learn from your mistakes with the auto tapper too, if you take 30 seconds.
You think you're a warrior?
The auto tapper only does what you tell it to do. The auto tapper tells you what lands it's going to tap before it taps them. So, if you aren't careless, look, when I drag this up, it shows me it's going to use all 6 of my lands. It's a little bit more obvious when I do it with a spell that's not using all my mana, but it tells you what it's going to do, and if you take 30 seconds to pay attention, you're not going to
I don't need this. I need this.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this since they have the disinformation campaign in play. Magic Lango, first live one in a while. Take the opportunity to resub. Cue Jeff's reminder to us YouTube viewers can sub even while he's offline and join the base buck. That's true. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future and you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, be sure to drop in. And you can do that to support my stuff even while I'm off. Sweet. That was, yeah, Ravager Wurm's a card I've been consistently impressed with. It's like, and getting to play, I really liked what this deck was doing. We're not that far off of, the only change we made from where we started was adding a couple of Cindervines, right? D-Spires, thanks to the Twitch Prime support. Thanks for dropping your Bezo bucks off this way this month. The only card I'm not 100% sure on, I mentioned this at the start, I'm not sure if Vine Finale is actually good in this deck. This might just be better as another threat or answer or something like that, but hey, thanks for the 27 months, Dystopian. I appreciate that, welcome. I think I was pretty happy with a lot of what this deck was doing. Yeah, Ritual of Soot might be better. Like, it's a little bit awkward because it's blank in other matchups, but honestly, we really kind of felt like we were dumpstering the control decks. Yeah, I like that suggestion. I'm going to post 2 Ritual of Soot in the final deck list that I post on YouTube. I like this a lot. Now, I really feel like I'd rather have Soots in the main, because, and this is something that Sarkhan and Rix Maadi do too, even though there's matchups where this card's not going to have a text box, we have 8 different ways to loot or rummage through it, which means having this high impact card to draw in 3 games instead of just 2 is really valuable. So, alright, what are we doing?